Hello, and welcome to an edition of Guitar Guru Mike's Guitar Secrets. These are things that you will not find anywhere else on the web or on YouTube. I know that's a big claim, but I've looked all over and haven't found anybody talking about these particular things. Today I'm going to talk about pinch harmonics. What is a harmonic? Technically, a harmonic are the overtones of a central note, usually going up an octave and then a fifth. Now that's going to be relevant to our discussion of pinch harmonics. Believe it or not, that is going to be relevant. Okay, so let's take another step back. Most people think of harmonics as coming off of the open strings, and mostly they do. These are natural harmonics. 12th fret is a good place to get them. 7th fret is a good place. 5th fret's another hot spot too, and there's other hot spots. 9th even has some, but they're a little further up on the overtone scale. Here we go. At the 12th fret, the easiest harmonics to get are, of course, the octave of the open string, right? That's the first overtone as well. The next simplest harmonics to get are at the 7th fret. Incidentally, those are a fifth above the root on the overtone scale. Really, they're a fifth above that other octave, so they're way up there, right? Then, in addition, at the 5th fret is another hot spot. Guess what? That's an octave above the octave in the overtone scale. That's where this all comes from, okay? But it just so happens on the guitar, the way the strings are divided, the distances, the physics, oh gosh, it's complicated. It's really complicated, okay? But that's why that works, because of overtones. Octave, fifth, another octave, okay? So if you're wondering what these harmonic notes actually are, that's what they are. This is going to be relevant to our pinch harmonic discussion, and you'll see in just a second why. My advice is learn how to do it on an acoustic guitar first, and you will be really, really, really good at it when you try it on electric guitar with lots of distortion, because it's a lot easier there, okay? Some guys will tell you can't get it anywhere but with distortion. Wrong, wrong. Here, let me show you another guitar. This is a classical guitar. Classical guitar players have been playing harmonics for hundreds of years, okay? And the way that a classical guitar player will do what we would normally call maybe a pinch harmonic, but really it's an artificial harmonic. Artificial usually refers to, this is not totally set in stone yet, but usually it refers to a note that's being fretted with the left hand. That's an artificial. A natural comes from the open string. That's knowledge right there. Okay, now on the classical guitar, it's really known as an artificial harmonic. And usually what we're going to do is we're going to get those 12 frets above whatever note we're fretting. Let's try a note at the 5th fret down here. 12 plus 5 is 17. So I'm going to find my 12th fret, 16, 17. And I can play a harmonic here. Now, the way that classical guitar players usually play their harmonic is they'll touch with the flesh of the I finger, or the index finger in this case, and they'll actually pluck the harmonic with their thumb underneath right there. Check it out. Nice. 12 frets above the note that I'm fretting right here. There it is again, right? I could do that all along here. Okay, and underneath there I've got my thumb plucking and this finger touching the exact spot where that harmonic should be made. Okay, that's the classical style harmonic. Doesn't necessarily have to be 12 frets up. It can be 5 or 7. 7 frets above that you get the 5th. 5 frets above that you get the octave above the octave that you would get 12 frets above. You need to rewind that? Please feel free. Okay. Okay. That's the classical method. Here's the interesting thing about the pinch harmonics that you won't see in many other places. Most people do their pinch harmonic by just kind of finding a good spot relative to the note that they're fretting over here. And they'll search along there until they find it. And they'll usually gauge that spot and also gauge it by the scale. But the truth of the matter is, you can find exact notes that you want on that pinch harmonic scale. What you got to do is figure out what fret you're on here, figure out exactly 12 frets higher than that, that's going to be the octave of your pinch harmonic. Not only that, it's going to be a super sweet spot that you can play on the guitar. It's going to work for you. You can also go 7 frets or 5 frets. But there's more harmonics, actually. In addition to 12, you can go 7 from here and do another one way up here, right? So that would mean that'd be a pinch harmonic that'd actually be, what, 19 frets up from whatever note you're playing down here. Wow, how do we figure that out? Well, you just kind of got to guesstimate. You look at the frets, they're getting closer and closer together. You just kind of got to guesstimate where approximately that 19th, possibly 17th, or 12 frets up from the note that you're playing right here is going to be. You scope it out, and you get that as your sweet spot in that scale. Ah, there it is right there. On acoustic guitar, just like so. So it's all about placement. Now here's the super secret that I'm going to tell you about pinch harmonics. Pinch harmonics can be played in so many different ways. Most people will teach you that you got to put the pick and the thumb sticking out there. Whoop, let's see if I can get that. Kind of like that. And you got that thumb there so that you can actually touch that harmonic. Now here's the super secret. I never had a teacher when I was young, and guess what? I never learned that way. I stumbled upon it totally new and different way that I've never heard anybody teach before. Now the thumb pinch harmonic is the common way. See if I can possibly do one. Ah. Can you hear that? Just a little bit of that going on. I'm not real good with the thumb. When I stumbled upon the harmonic, I stumbled upon it with the side of this finger underneath my pick. The other thing I do wrong is I pick with this, like this, a lot. So this was the only finger I actually really could use to get the harmonic. Okay? So check this out. When I do a harmonic, I'm actually doing it with that part of my ring finger, the flesh. Now why is this better? 2 reasons. 2 good reasons. One is I can actually move that finger back and forth underneath my hand and get different pinch harmonics without having to move my pick around. So I can still pick in the sweet spot according to the pickups, but I can harmonic in other places if I stretch it out a little bit. Okay? The other thing too is at one point in my career when I was really picking metal really well, I could do a double pick on a harmonic. And the reason I wanted to put this up here because I see a lot of misinformation going around. We should always know what note you're playing. You should always know what note you're playing. That's what musicians, or you should at least know what that note's going to sound like. Searching around randomly for pinch harmonics, while commendable, let's get a little more sophisticated about that. Because is that possible? Could we possibly look at it and go, that's what that note is. That's a fifth above that. That's an octave above that, etc., etc. I think that'd be real useful for a lot of people to learn how to do harmonics properly. So, if you still have questions after this discussion, which I'm sure you do because there's a lot of little things I did not explain, a lot of things about the use of harmonics. There's so many other types of harmonics out there that you can explore. The tap harmonic that Eddie Van Halen uses. You can use a harmonic using another part of your left hand even. Okay, we've seen all sorts of different ways of using these harmonics. Okay, so today we learned about pinch harmonics. If you have more questions, hey, come see me on my website, guitargurumike.com. We can set up a private video lesson. We can get that going, and we can answer any questions you have.